Hello, everybody. This is Nicole with Live with eCom Sellers. And today, this is our Poshmark and Mercari workshop. We're going to be going over part one today. So, a little bit about me. I am the co founder and the creator of all things e commerce, eCom Sellers related. Started selling online 2014, was on eBay, and been selling offline since 2008. So, a while. I'm a single mom of two special needs kiddos who are now teenagers. Whoa. And I'm also the vice president of a nonprofit. So, in today's workshop, it's going to be taught from a new seller's perspective about Poshmark and Mercari, and some of the some of the ideas or information shared could be used on any other platform. So, we're going to step through some of this. The other assumption is that you will create your account for Poshmark Mercari within the next 24 to 48 hours so you can perform some of the activities in the workshop. So I actually have both accounts. I use Mercari more than I use Poshmark. So let's go after it. So by the end of this workshop, know why you should be selling on Mercari and Poshmark, what the fees are, how to install the both apps, how to create a listing on either platform, and what you can't sell on those platforms and what you can. Some of the shipping information, how to get paid, and how to handle returns. So today we're going over Mercari. We're going to create an account, install the app, understand how to read and use the app. We're going to go through a listing, talk about the fees, how to get paid. We're going to talk about how you can use shopping for profits to make money on Mercari. You can also, source other ways, and begin sourcing a product using retail arbitrage. So the first thing about this journey on the e-commerce journey is that we want to make sure that you have the right mindset to be able to do this. We're in Q4, and that's the most profitable time of the year. We want you to be able to make money as a seller in Q4, and you can use that money to help you to acquire other inventory. So, as part of being an e-commerce seller, there's a few things that you want to keep in mind. One, that you take 100% ownership of your business. Everything that happens in your business, the decisions that you make, the things that go well, the things that don't go well, because at the end of the day, it is your business. When you first start in this e-commerce journey, everything's not going to be perfect. That's just par for the course. But over time, with repetition and consistency, you will get better at this e-commerce thing, and you will learn how to be profitable as a seller. We want to make sure that, as part of this journey, the method that we're going to be talking about today is in examples. Is going to be retail arbitrage or shopping for profits. You can also use thrifting. That's another way to find things to sell on Mercari or Poshmark. We encourage you to establish a budget of how much you intend to spend so you can acquire inventory or to handle shipments, and also how much you want to make. So, as part of that, you do want to create or establish a budget. The other thing we encourage you to do is establish a schedule. Be consistent when you're selling on any platform, and that includes Mercari or Poshmark, because with consistency, you have the opportunity, of course, to make more money over time. And whatever method you decide that you're going to start with when it comes to selling on either one of these platforms, we encourage you to stick with it for 3 to 6 months, at a minimum 3 months, giving it enough time for you, if you're consistent, to be able to fine tune different things that you're doing in your business so that you can continue to gradually scale it or to make more money over time. So, 8 reasons why you should be selling using Mercari, actually just using any mobile apps. Because keep in mind, you can sell on Mercari, Poshmark. There's other mobile apps like Five Below, OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace. There are so many different mobile apps that are out there that give you the opportunity to make some money. So why would you sell on a mobile app? One, to make extra cash, definitely. Use that extra cash to buy more inventory. Use that extra cash to cover other expenses. One of the reasons why I got into got into e-commerce was because of the fact, I was going to say retail arbitrage. It was because of the fact that I needed money to be able to cover my kids' therapies and their treatments and all of that. And I needed money to be able to cover our deductibles, and it was just a lot of stuff. We had supplements, special diet helpers. And so e-commerce, I found that as a way to be able to cover those expenses. So making extra money using Mercari or Poshmark, not a bad idea, or any other mobile app. Number two, to get rid of inventory. You might have some inventory that's returned to you from Amazon. You may have inventory that's returned to you from Walmart. You also may have inventory that's just sitting around the house, or things that you haven't listed, or things that haven't sold on other platforms. Listing it on Mercari or Poshmark may help it to be able to move much faster. To make space, maybe you're crowded. Maybe you have thousands of tubs in your house, in your garage, in your living room. Um, so you want to declutter your life. List it on Mercari or Poshmark. That's a good way to get rid of inventory. You want to sell unique or collectible or vintage items. Maybe you do have some vintage items. Maybe you're a thrifter and you've gone to resale shops or you've gone to garage sales. You picked up some pretty interesting products. So, going through the process of selling those items that may be worth something on some of these other platforms is not a bad idea. Now, I will encourage you, like, collectibles, being able to sell collectibles, make sure that, you do the research to confirm it is a collectible. To save time, you could host a garage sale if you want to, or you could save yourself a lot of time and hassle of doing all of the pricing of everything, putting stuff on tables, setting things up, dragging the tables out at 6 o'clock in the morning, putting the tables back at 11 or 12, because when you do a garage sale, you got to be very organized in order to make money. So save yourself the time and the hassle by just selling your stuff on Mercari or Poshmark or any other mobile app. Um, Appeal to a different audience. So I know that Poshmark, caters to a specific target audience. They cater more to women, millennials. And so being able to sell products to your target audience, like some of the products that you have may be of more interest on some of the other platforms. So being able to sell them on Mercari or Poshmark, you might find your avatar, your ideal customer. The other thing is that customers are getting more creative in their purchases. So sometimes they're not always going to the common places that they would historically go to buy things, like going directly to Amazon or Walmart. Sometimes they're looking for a deal. And so if they're on the hunt for a deal, they're probably going to find one in your mobile app. It's less anonymous. So when you establish your account on these platforms, this will allow you the opportunity to be, you'll have your information, but it'll also allow them, customers, to give feedback about their transactions or interactions with you, so you can get customer ratings, give you the opportunity to maybe build up a little more rapport and or trust on these platforms as well. So, and then last, just easy to communicate. You can communicate directly. You don't have to give people your phone numbers or your email addresses. Just doing it through the mobile apps makes it much easier to be able to close out the deal and get the cash for the item so you can send it to the customer. So let me tell you a little bit about Mercari. Mercari is a Japanese e-commerce company that was founded in February of 2013. It is currently operating in Japan and the United States. Now, Mercari expanded to the United States in 2014, and the marketplace allows users to buy and sell items quickly. There are several marketplaces that are very similar to that, but it was awarded the best shopping app. Now, before Mercari, I was selling on OfferUp and 5 Mile. Again, there's so many similarities between all of these apps. So, just knowing a little bit about Mercari's back history is a little interesting. 2013, it means they've been around for a while. So, some of the recommendations that we have when you're deciding you're going to sell some things on a mobile app, and that includes Mercari. One, you got to take good pictures, bright pictures. Make sure your pictures are good. If they don't look good, take your item into a well lit room and take pictures of it. The more vibrant, the bigger the image or the product takes up the majority of the image real estate, the better it's going to be. Make sure you also take pictures of things that, if there's any flaws or issues with the particular product that you happen to be selling. And that includes clothes. Take as many pictures as possible, those that are beneficial, which is what I said, any tears, rips, anything like that, so you can reduce negative feedback. Be as descriptive as possible about your product that you're selling. Make sure you have a good title. And also make sure you have good information in the description, including measurements. Sometimes you get questions about measurements, and so you want to have that information in the description. Price your product appropriately. Price it fair. Um, there may be similar products that are already on those platforms. And so go do a little bit of research, do a little bit of reconnaissance before you decide you're going to list yours. Now, I still believe your price is the price. So if you want to sell it for a higher price, go for it. If there's not a lot of competition, but it is a product that's in demand, I say go for it. Um, Use the promote or tag feature. Now, different apps have different types of promote features, and so that you can bump the listing up to the top. There's so many different terms that the different platforms use. So take advantage of those so that you have the opportunity to get some more eyeballs onto your product, and so that people can find your product much faster. Um, and then ship your products timely to your customers. You don't want dissatisfied customers. You don't want negative feedback. You don't want those problems. So, when it comes to selling on Mercari, there's a few things you need to do. There is no listing fees for Mercari. I feel like something has changed. Well, there's a couple of things that have changed Mercari since we've done this training, but because I believe it was Lyft or Uber partnered with Mercari to get your products to your customers. But in any case, there's a minimum 10%, um, the minimum of 10% of the item price for a completed sale. So minimum of 10%. And then there's the processing fee of 2.9 plus 30 cents. That feels so similar to PayPal, but that is the processing fee. And then there are no fees for direct deposits over $10. There's a $2 fee for each direct deposit less than $10. And there's a $2 fee for each direct deposit that is rejected by your financial institution. And there's a $2 fee for any instant payment transfers. Look, I have left my money in Mercari so that way when I'm ready to transfer to my bank, I got plenty of time to do that. So just, rack up your sales. And if you don't need the money immediately, you can use it for other things. You can float that money and use it to acquire more inventory. So get strategic about that. Now, using the app, you do want to install the app. We're going to look at some pictures here in a second. And you're going to have to create a profile. When you're ready to sell something, you're going to hit the sell button and pick the category. And then once you pick the category, you do need to add your photos. So make sure you've already taken all your amazing photos. Make sure you've done a little bit of research on the title. Make sure you include what the product is in the title. And also, if there's anything that might be helpful to know about that specific product. So if you feel like this is a great Christmas gift for women or a great Christmas gift for men, put that kind of stuff towards the end of the title or at the top of the description of the product. And then make sure you provide a fair price or a good price for your product. Again, your price is your price. Sometimes you do need to make adjustments in order to get some traction or get more sales on your product. Um, Share your listing on other social media platforms. Look, I encourage you to also share it on other mobile app platforms as well. So if you've already got an Instagram page, a Facebook page, use those to be able to share the listing onto those platforms. Share it on as many platforms where you think your avatar or your customers might live, or people that might be interested in a specific product. So sometimes it may actually be beneficial to record a TikTok video and put the URL to the product in a TikTok video. I mean, if it makes sense, then do it. Um, you can review or negotiate um, or accept offers. Let me just say this. I don't do this whole offer thing. I don't have time on my app. I'm like, look, the price is the price. You're buying or you're not. I'm not going to haggle with you. I'm not going to go back and forth because I just don't have that kind of time and energy. But there are some people that do have that time and energy. They're ready to entertain offers for their product. And so if that's you, fantastic. Make it known in your listing that you will entertain offers. But if you are a person who does not have the bandwidth or the time to be able to do that, then don't. When you get a sale, you're going to print your label, and you can. I send my label from my phone over to my email account, so then that way I can print it off. Package your item once it's purchased. Package it up really good, and make sure that you do what you can to one manage the shipping costs. So make sure that you have an appropriately sized box or bag, and you do need to make sure that hopefully you don't overpay for shipping for sure. Then you're going to ship the item to the buyer, and then you're going to review the buyer. Those are the things that you're going to be doing, and you can do all of that, a lot of it, in the app, except for like the printing of the label. Like, you can send, if you have a feature on your phone that sends your specific printable labels to your own printer, that's fantastic on your mobile app. But if you don't, I just send it via email to myself from my phone, and I just use that as my method of. Once I send it to my email, then I print it off, and then I use that. So put it on the package. So this is what the Mercari app looks like. You'll see the first picture. It looks pretty much the same. I mean, a couple years ago they changed like their logo. It used to be like a burgundy white, different shape on the M and stuff like that. So now it's that purple, and the letters don't quite line up. Um, so in any case, you'll install the app. Once you install the app, and it's free to install. Then once you install the app, you're going to either log in with your email address or log in with your Facebook. I don't do the login with my Facebook on anything. I always want to enter an email address unless the app forces me to, connect with some other app. And I hate that when they force you to do that. So, you can create a specific email account. Me and my business partner, we have specific email accounts that we use for our e-commerce business. So we don't like add our regular email address. Then once you click on next, because it's going to give you some insight, then Mercari would like to send you notifications. You can allow or you can not allow. I would allow Mercari to send me notifications if I were you. Then the next thing is, before I'm about to list something, I'm probably going to do a little bit of research. You'll see that you have a sell button, and you have a sell underscore, and then you also have a buy underscore. So I like to make sure, um, if I want to go, if I'm going to sell something, I'm going to go do some research on it first before I choose the sell option. If I am buying something, then that's on you. But if I'm going to sell something, I'm going to do a little bit of research to see if this product is already on um, Mercari and what it's selling for, so that I don't run into any challenges later on. I do want to point out while I'm here, you have your home button at the bottom, likes if there is a listing that you really, really like, to be able to take pictures of your images. That's your button there that you can take pictures with. And you can also start creating your listing from there. In addition to that, you got notifications. So if you want to receive emails about interest or people liking a certain listing, you can go ahead and do that. And if people are messaging you, messages are here. You can also get messages from Mercari, the platform itself. So it's not always external customers. Sometimes it's Mercari sharing some information with you. Okay. So if I am going to buy, then I can do the research on what I want to buy. If I'm going to sell, before I sell, I want to do some research as well to see if this item is already listed and what it's currently selling for. Okay. And then I can click on the orange button to begin the process. So once you get going, who are you shopping most for, female or male? Female, you'll find a lot of these mobile apps, there's more female than male, so that's a common thing. And then whether or not you're ready to buy products or you're ready to sell. Sell is what we're going for. That's where we're going to make our money. You're also going to be asked to get updates directly from Mercari, so be prepared to say yes. And if you'd like to get your $5 coupon right now, you'll get $5 off of your next purchase with Mercari. So you can go ahead and, if you want to sell now, you can go ahead and click on sell now. If you want to learn more about the $5 on your next purchase, then you can click on the learn more. Okay. The other thing, and you do want to always make sure you're getting updates from Mercari. So make sure your app is up to date. So again, as you begin the process, once you look for a particular product, then you can see what the results are, and you can see the information about whatever it is that you're looking at. You'll see here, this is the weekly picks for the books. This is recommendations, things that based on maybe some of your own search history when you were searching up here, that they said, oh, okay, this email address looks like they're actually a buyer and not really a seller of information, and that may be the case. So you're either going to be on there buying a bunch for yourself, because you can flip inventory back onto the same platform if you find a deal, or you're going to be a seller. Hopefully, you're going to be a seller and you're going to do well as a seller. Now, once you are searching, like you're going to get some combined results. So you'll see here, um, iPhone 7 Plus had over 95,000 views in the last week. This is what people are searching for. So these are your top searches. And this can help you to make sure, you're doing the most to get the best title on your product. That maybe you're selling some of the products that people are actually searching for. So that may change how you want to source. So keep those things in mind. So how do you create your account or create a listing, with Mercari? So the first thing we do encourage you to do is review Mercari's seller guidelines and marketplace guidelines and buyer guidelines. You can review all of those online, or you can go to Mercari.com. Once you log into your new account, you'll be able to see that information. Then from your phone, you can tap on the sell button. We talked about that before. I showed you the sell button if you don't remember. So this is the sell button right here. And just circle it. Okay. So you can use the sell button to begin the process, take pictures of your items. Make sure you have up to 4 items or 4 photos showing your particular product. You can put a couple more. Make sure your title can be up to 40 characters long. You also want to make sure you have a good description in there and add some tags. Sometimes people are searching by hashtags. I know that that's a popular thing on Poshmark. So don't overlook that opportunity on Mercari. And then set your price, choose your shipping method, how you're going to ship this thing. Um, Sometimes USPS is the best price and sometimes it's not. So always go do a little bit of research to figure out how you're going to maximize your profits from selling this particular item, and figure out what the best shipping method might be. And if you can't find a great deal, then go ahead and purchase your shipping and make a note of the prices. If it's something you're selling over and over again, in other words, you're going to sell multiples of the same product or variations of the product in different colors or sizes, you know, make sure you're making a note of what that shipping cost is to you, so you can use that information in the future as you begin to source products. You'll be like, oh, okay, that cost me a similar product around that same size and same weight, cost me X number of dollars to ship. Do I want to ship it or do I want to let Amazon ship it? Okay. But set your price, figure out your shipping method, and then go ahead and tap to list. So as we go through this process, we're going to start with creating a product to list. So we started the process. We're going to click on list. Then once you click on list, we're going to click on new. And then we're going to go through the process. Oops, I did that wrong. We're going to step through the process of what we're selling, what's the title, what's the description, what category, what's the brand, what's the condition. So again, and then once you're done, click on list and you're good to go. So it's just that simple. Um, Begin the process of listing a product. You're going to add your photos first, put a title, description, put the category and the brand, and then the condition. And then we're going to go through the process of filling in the other places so we can go ahead and click on list. That's ultimately, again, what you're going to be doing to create your listing on Mercari. So when you're creating your listing on Mercari, we do recommend, if you have the opportunity and you can manage it, that you cross list it on other platforms. So you can import or cross list your products onto eBay. That's always a good one. You can also use some of the tools like Vendu, List Perfectly, um, Resell Kit app and then cross list it. So I have a List Perfectly account and I like the tool. And I know Kelly does too. So we kind of like List Perfectly. But you can decide what tool you want to use to take your listings from Mercari and push them onto other platforms, including Facebook Marketplace or Mercari, or Poshmark from Mercari. So it's a great tool. The way that it works is you can use List Perfectly to create the listing, or once you created the listing, you can import it into List Perfectly's catalog library, and then you can push it out to other platforms. So that's two ways in which to tackle that. So prohibited products that you can't list on Mercari, there's quite a few, and they are common ones. If you're already selling on Amazon and eBay or Facebook Marketplace, then these are going to be similar. If you're already selling on Walmart, then these are all going to be similar. So, you can't sell alcohol, tobacco items. You can't sell weapons. You can't sell stolen items. You can't sell counterfeits. You can't sell, says you can't sell digital items. I thought that they made that change, but that's okay. You can't sell live animals or trafficked material. So you need to be aware of what you can't sell on Mercari so you don't get yourself in trouble and you don't get caught up. Now, how do you get paid from Mercari? What you're going to do is after your item sells, after a few days, and your customers had an opportunity to rate you, inspected and rated, so on and so forth. Then Mercari, if they don't rate you in 3 days, then Mercari will rate you so that you can get paid. All right. You will get you can rate the buyer, whoever the buyer is of your product, and the funds will be added to your balance. So they're available in your balance. I would show you a screenshot of mine, but you can use those funds. You can cash out, but you can go over to the balance part of the app to be able to do that. So click on the three equals at the top. You need to go back to the app page. So hold on. So yeah, so if you go to home, then you'll be able to navigate around. So that's the thing you want to do. All right. So go look at your My Balance so that you can find out how much money you have. When it comes to shipping, the great thing about Mercari is that they do have reasonable pricing already established. So in most cases, you're not shipping something ginormous in most cases. But I believe that it is Uber that Mercari has. Is it Uber or Lyft? Now I got to look it up on my phone. The one of the two that you can actually, if you have like bigger items and you want to sell local, you do have the opportunity to use that feature with Mercari. So that's one good thing. But in any case, prepaid shipping paid by the buyer or by you, I would say have the buyer pay. They give you some prepaid shipping numbers to start with. I don't know if you can see those really well, but they are terribly, terribly, terribly affordable. Okay. They're not outlandish or crazy. So that's the great thing about it. And you can ship it yourself using a third party company. So you can buy shipping if you want to buy it from some other source like Pirate Ship or something like that. You can do that as well. But they encourage you to buy it from your back office because it's reasonably priced, unless you can find a better deal. Find a better deal, then do that. Now, Macari now newly introduced a program. Some areas where Postmates will deliver it. It's not Postmates. It is Uber. That's what it is. I think it's Uber. So how to ship to Mercari customers, depending on what you select what you selected when you listed your item, you can either print off a prepaid label that is emailed to your Mercari account, which is I normally just forward it onto my my email account, so that way I can print it off. Or you can use a third party shipping program, as I mentioned before, if you want to do that. And then you want to add the tracking number. That's very, very, very important. Then once you've done that, click on the item has been shipped. And that way it'll be marked as shipped, and then your customer can start looking for it after you drop off the item. So you can click on the, I think it does it automatically once it's checked in at this point. I think that's what it does now because it's been a while since I've paid attention to what it does after that. So for customer service, Mercari customer service and returns. So the buyer can return it within 3 days of confirmed delivery if one or more apply. The item is not as described, the item is potentially counterfeit, the item is prohibited, it's damaged, it's defective, or a wrong item was received. So they have 3 days to do that after confirmed delivery. The item cannot be returned. An item cannot be returned if it does not fit or has an odor or otherwise, accurately described in the listing. If the return is approved by Mercari, Mercari will give the buyer a prepaid address shipping label to return the item back to the seller. When the item is returned, the Mercari will refund the buyer. Refund the buyer to the original form of payment. However, the buyer bought it, they'll refund back to the buyer. So it's going to be a while before that buyer gets their money back. You just need to make sure that what you list is legit so that you don't run into challenges. So, the next time we connect, we are going to talk about. I think we're going to talk about Poshmark. I think that says Mercari. And so today we talked about Mercari. We talked about installing the app, the fees. We talked about how to get paid, what you can sell, and how to ship to your customers. And we talked a little bit about customer service and returns. So next week is all about Poshmark, and that's what we're going to talk about. So with that, I hope this information is helpful. Right now, you have the opportunity to ask whatever questions you have. So underneath this video, please, by all means, ask your questions, type them. We are happy to answer them. We're here to help you on your e-commerce journey. If you have not installed the Mercari app or you haven't sold anything, I will tell you it's one of the easiest ones to do. Same thing with Facebook Marketplace and Poshmark. So consider selling on Mercari. And with that, we're going to say goodbye for now. Type your questions in the comments section so we can answer them.